Tonight on EA Sports, Super Bowl 57. We'll see Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles taking on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. We count down to kickoff in what should be an epic one here, as it'll be the AFC champion Baltimore Ravens taking on the NFC champions, the Philadelphia Eagles. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And, Charles, you look at the Ravens, champions of the AFC. Remember, they won Super Bowl 47 back in February of 2013. And they've been one of the best teams in the NFL the last decade or so. And now they look to cap off a tremendous season.
And to your point, we have to remember that Baltimore Ravens history starts in 1996 when the Browns moved from Cleveland. Since then, they've won the Super Bowl twice, number 47, as you mentioned, and also Super Bowl 35 in Tampa over the New York Giants.
Meanwhile, it took until Super Bowl 52 for the Eagles to lift the Lombardi Trophy for the first time, and not too many players are left from that squad 5 years ago, but this new group is looking to write a new chapter of Eagles lore.
Yeah, we certainly all remember that performance in the win over New England. Nick Foles throwing for 373 yards, catching the Philly special that will go down as one of the most iconic play calls in Super Bowl history. Now they're back and looking to make it 2 titles in 6 years.
The hype and the talk is over. We're set for the big one. Super Bowl 57. Away we go from Arizona. A short kick taken at the 18. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
We've seen Lamar Jackson dance all over defenses throughout the regular season, but this is the first time we've seen him stepping up to the Super Bowl spotlight. You always thought you'd see him get here at some point. In fact, on draft night, he told us he was bringing a Super Bowl to Baltimore.
They'll start with the option. And all the way down to the 9. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. Well, you know, most quarterbacks, when you talk about their big playability, you talk about the arm, but this, an absolutely huge play with a leg.
And also with his mind, because he had to see this play develop in order to make the decision to keep it and run. And how about him looking up and seeing the seas part for him once he got past the line of scrimmage? My first thought, I think he can go all the way, and I'm trying not to take over your call of this play, partner.
This is caught. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation. Jackson gonna run. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Considering they've seen him have some big gains against him throughout this game, that's got to feel like a measure of revenge as they trap him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good, and the Ravens strike first at 3-zip. 3 points, probably not going to win this Super Bowl, but at least you get something on the opening drive.
And it's certainly not going to lose it. So the bottom line is, Come away with the points now. Come back and get greedy later and try and put it in the end zone.
Boston Scott on the return from his end zone. Oh, good return up past the 30. Past midfield. Boston Scott. And he will score. Touchdown, Eagles. So they gave up the field goal, but boom, they get it right back. Don't even worry about getting their offense on the field. They return it on the kickoff.
So I see your 3 points.
And raise you
6. Double it up, coming right back at them. And if that's going to be the trade all game long, someone's going to be very happy with the end result.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Well, we talk a lot about explosive plays on offense. How about an explosive play on special teams? Certainly one there on the kick return for a touchdown. So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They trailed early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. The drive will start with an option going left. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
And this is why aggressive defense coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. Greg Ward deep for Philadelphia. That's taken on the 25. Touchdown, Philadelphia. An impressive 75-yard punt return. And the Eagles will add to their first quarter lead here in this Super Bowl. And we always talk about kick returns being so exciting on kickoffs. Punt return almost equally exciting.
And typically we talk about the kickoff return being the most exciting 10 seconds in football. Let's just cut it in half for a punt return and make it the most exciting 5 seconds in football. It's a great, glamorous, dashing play.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. It's a short kick taken out beyond the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They trailed early on in this Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Fletcher Cox gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. One quarter done, 3 more to play here in Super Bowl 57. Plenty of scoring here already. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we are back and ready to go for the 2nd quarter of the Super Bowl. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis, as always, thrilled to be with you. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open man is Bateman. It's complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 42. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13. let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. Shoves him aside. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 42 yards. And the Ravens have got it back to within a score. Tucker with the extra point, and that makes it a 14-10 ball game. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Scott on the return, out of the end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
I think we all heard about it in the offseason. There were many questions asking if Philadelphia might consider bringing in another quarterback to replace Jalen Hurts. He answered emphatically, "This is my team," and he led them to a Super Bowl appearance. A well-deserved moment for this quarterback who just kept his head down, kept working, and eliminated all the noise.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Well, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's second down. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Hurts. Floating one, incomplete.
That incompletion certainly makes this upcoming 3rd down a little bit more crucial. They need to find the right play to convert here and maybe start to tamp down a little bit of momentum the other side is starting to gain.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. They'll roll him out right. And Hurts able to show off some of that elusiveness as he slides to the ground there, and in the process picks up the 1st down. How about them biting off 15 yards there on the 4th down attempt and keeping the drive alive?
If there's one thing they aren't lacking in, it's confidence. They took a big and maybe unnecessary risk going for that 4th down. He put them on his shoulders, though, and paid off the big-time gamble.
Play action. Here's Hurts. Rolling to his right. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
22 yards there, a 1st down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. They find some open field here. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders, 30 yards. And the Eagles continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. So that a very nice-looking touchdown run.
And on his first carry of the game as well. And you remember, Brandon, we talked to him yesterday, and he thought he was going to have a big game. He thought everything aligned perfectly. He liked what the defense was presenting, and he really liked what he was getting from his blockers.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes it a 21-10 game. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. It's a short kick taken out beyond the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they've got to be pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo and the same pace. Still a lot of...
There he goes, right side. The 20. Touchdown. Mark Andrews. 67 yards. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And it's now 21-17. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Scott on the return out of the end zone. Oh, good-looking return set up here. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. So back onto the field here come the Eagles for their second drive. Right now, we've got a little bit of an offensive masterpiece going on both sides, moving the football, scoring points. It's almost like somebody put the defense on rookie mode in this one. I mean, we haven't even left the first half, Charles, and we're certainly on pace for a shootout.
An excellent start for both offenses. The fans have to be enjoying this to see all these points go up on the board. As a former defender, you know I'm not enjoying this at all. But right now, both these teams just trading haymakers. Let's see if anyone slips up first. Can anyone counter with a nice little jab and get things going in their direction?
They'll fake the give to Sanders, and now Hurts. Sliding out of the pocket. Towards the end zone for Brown. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, 45 yards. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. And Charles, the defender, was there. He just didn't get it.
Sometimes these plays turn into basketball in a sense, with two guys going up for the football. Which guy's going to box the other away from it and grab it?
Yeah, I know you hear it a lot, but it's just the will to get it, right?
Oh, without a doubt. The will, as well as some really nice touch on the ball.
And I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How is the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Point after, right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. It's a short kick taken out beyond the 20. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they look up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Steps away to his left. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. First down now, but the clock continues to move. Jackson's throw is on target to Duvernay. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Devin Duvernay. 37 yards. And the Ravens are back within a score. Tucker with the extra point. And that makes it a 28-24 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Scott on the return out of the end zone. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
And some space here. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's 2nd down. Here's Hurts to throw. He's going to go up top again. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. They're going on 4th down with Hurts. A desperation heave for the end zone. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A.J. Brown, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Eagles would extend their lead here just before halftime.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. The extra point splits the uprights, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. Very short kick taken right at the 20. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. Meanwhile, Jackson's throw complete there to Bateman. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. So we've reached halftime here in the Super Bowl. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. What a season this has been. Hard to believe it ends tonight, as we'll get back to you guys for the second half of this Super Bowl in just a moment. It's been a tremendous season from beginning to end. And now we'll play one half of football to decide who raises the Lombardi Trophy. And for the call, let's get it right back to Brandon and Charles.
These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. Scott on the return out of the end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. And I would imagine this is where you have to take stock of the situation, CD, and say, gosh, we're halfway to the Lombardi Trophy. Let's not slow down now.
And I like the way you went there. Let's not slow down now, because the first half certainly went their way. And I would expect them to continue that type of a game plan. But you're right. You do think back to Super Bowl 54. 49ers had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter, couldn't hold on. So plenty can still happen. I think the reason that this play is so successful is not just the blocking at the point of attack, but how about the speed at which he takes the handoff? He's in motion already, so he's not coming from a flat start like a running back often is. He's at a full run by the time he gets the football.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Hurts. He'll buy some time right. Wide open is Watkins. He's got it. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Another big gain or two in succession as this one goes for 32.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Flushed out right. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles will extend their third quarter lead here in this Super Bowl. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead is up to 18 now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it was capped off by a 12-yard touchdown run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Another modest gain there on that one. And I think, Charles, you can probably pin part of the deficit on a failure on their part to really get this ground game established.
Yeah, and they've really struggled to be multidimensional in this one, haven't they, partner? Because they have to be extremely one-dimensional now if they hope to get back into this game. They have to do it by throwing the football and hope to have success through the air.
An option handoff here to Dobbins. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes at that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
And credit the tackle to Derek Barnett. Second down, here's an option right. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jackson now. He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that'll bring up 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now. Remember, his first attempt was returned for a touchdown. Here's Ward to return. And he's loose again. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. Just a fantastic punt return of 80 yards. And the Eagles are starting to open things up here in the Super Bowl. A lot of times they want this guy just to try to flip field position. He flipped it all the way into the end zone.
Yeah, the rule of thumb is, can you pick up 10 yards? That's getting a first down. Instead, he takes it all the way and provides a big spark for his team.
Point after, right down the middle. And they open the lead up now to 25. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. A short kick taken at the 18. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. That play ended for a net loss thanks to Javon Hargrave.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Throwing is Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Just one more quarter remains in the season-long race for the Lombardi Trophy here at Super Bowl 57 from Glendale. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Jackson on 1st down. And he'll go right back to Andrews. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Jackson going to find his running back here. It's Dobbins. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Well, I guess an interception at this point on 4th down is just as bad as an incomplete pass. Either way, the ball goes over to the other side.
Yeah, it's a tough spot to be in this late in the game, and there's not a whole lot he could do there. And he winds up giving the ball away.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at the 40. They start on the ground here. It's Sanders. And some room to roam now. Sanders shaking and baking. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Miles Sanders, his second touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Eagles are starting to pour it on the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl.
Okay, we need to double-check here with Marvin because he keeps all of our good stats. But what I've got is 5 drives, 5 touchdowns, and they've got a nice, healthy lead.
Well, after the first drive, we thought things might be clicking. They're really clicking at this point. They're clicking about as much as they can click.
And right
I just
now,
said click a lot.
Yes, you did, but that's okay because the guy who's coordinating the defense, trying to slow them down,
good luck.
He's going to have hair that looks like mine very soon. Not much of it.
The Eagle kick team out there now as they run up and send this one away. From just inside the 20, a short kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And their Super Bowl hopes are dwindling here in the 4th. That AFC crown from 2 weeks ago starting to seem like a distant memory. And this one just has not gone as they had hoped. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Now it's Jackson. Got a man open. It's Ross. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. And this will probably be the final play before the 2-minute warning. Looking to throw again on second down. Jackson, throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. To throw again is Jackson. They set up the screen for Dobbins. Now they got to get to the line quickly. To throw again on second down. Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 25-yard line. Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Throwing again on second down. Jackson buying time to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. That is caught at the 7. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Now Jackson. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. And, Charles, they continue to have trouble stopping him as he's into the end zone yet again.
Yes, multiple series now that have ended with him in the end zone. A perfect plan on how to utilize him best when they get in close.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will cut this lead down to 25. Scott on the return out of the end zone. And a pretty poor return as he will dive to the ground to give himself up. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they are trying to play it cool down on the sidelines, but they know that they are very close now to wrapping this thing up and letting the celebration begin. A Super Bowl title within reach now as they try to polish this thing off. Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going deep for Brown. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing is Hurts. He's going to try and go deep again. Oh, a contested ball here, and it's going to be caught. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. And the Lombardi Trophy will rest in the city of brotherly love. The Philadelphia Eagles are the Super Bowl champs. And their remarkable season ends in the most remarkable of ways. They get to put next to their name, Super Bowl champion.
And they can't ever take that away, can they?
Nope.
That lasts forever. So good to see the emotion when it's all said and done. You see the hugs, you see the guys sharing, the collective happiness. Makes me want to carry you around a little bit on my shoulders to celebrate the triumph. And congratulations to them, a fantastic season.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.